Hi, my name is Deb Johnston and welcome to Women Reinventing Midlife TV, where we aim to inspire women over 50 to thrive in a meaningful life that you deeply desire and deserve. And today I want to talk about living midlife in an empowered state, feeling uplifted and like you're thriving in this phase of life. And it simply comes down to a mindset thing, because our mind has the most influence over everything that we do. So many women reach this phase of life that they get to 50 and they feel like the best part of life is behind them and there's nothing to look forward to. So you feel like you've hit a bit of a slump, when in fact the opposite is true. This is the most empowering time of our life, where we get to step into who we really are and live the life that we want and deserve. So what causes the negative side? What causes the slump? What causes the view that there's nothing to look forward to? Well, it's really related to the way we think, and the way what we think is influenced by experiences that we've had. So it might be a society viewpoint. You know, you might be picking up magazines and looking at articles that value youth or show the negative side of middle age. You might be picking up magazines that show beautiful pictures of youthful women. You might be having a negative experience at work. You might have applied for promotion and not got it and decided that that means because you're too old. Or you might be having conversations with friends, often just a simple conversation with a friend with a negative comment about this phase of life can bring you more focused onto the negative. It could be an experience you've had yourself. It could be a conversation that you've heard someone else have, or something you've heard on radio or seen on TV, or an article you've read. When you gather all these things together, all these different experiences together, it produces a way of thinking. And then that creates your mindset. And the way you think creates the way you feel, and the way you feel influences what you can see around you, the opportunities that you can see, or the things that you do or decide not to do. So it's so important that we change our focus to a positive one, that we start to look for the positives in this phase of life, because when we do that, we'll start to have better experiences. What we see as possible for this phase of life expands. It becomes a bit of a smorgasbord for you to choose from. But it begins with changing your focus so you can change the way you think about these things. So let me give you an example of this. So just recently, wasn't that long ago actually, about a week ago, I went to our local shop. I wanted to pop in there. They're a lovely, lovely group of people that own that shop. I wanted to pop in there, and I think I was going in for some coconut milk or something. And as I was going through the checkout, the lovely woman on the checkout called me honey. She said, "Thanks, honey." And when she said it, it had a kind of feeling around it, like she was treating me like I was an old lady. That's how it felt. But that could have been my perception. It could have been my perception. She was certainly being very lovely, but that's how it felt to me. And I think she was probably early 20s, maybe a little bit younger than that. But I walked out of there and I completely forgot about it. Got in my car, came home and did whatever it is that I needed to do. Completely forgot about it until a couple of days later, I opened my computer and I read an article written by a woman who was talking about an experience that she'd had that was exactly the same, to the letter, exactly the same. She described my experience and how it could give people confirmation that they're old, that it could give you confirmation that you're old, you're not valued, you need to be looked after a little bit more. And I read the article and I smiled to myself and thought, maybe I wasn't imagining it, but it didn't make any difference to me, because I'm not looking for examples of what's not possible for me. I'm not looking for the negatives of this phase of life. I'm actually looking for the positives. I'm embracing the absolutely incredible opportunities that we have in this phase of life, and how we get to actually live the life the way we want to. But if I was looking for the negatives, I would have walked out of the shop into the car park, driven home, probably told my partner about my experience. I might have rung a friend and told a friend about my experience, or told them the next time I saw them. I might have ruminated a bit about it. And then when I saw the article, it would have given me a lot of confirmation that what I'm thinking about this phase of life is absolutely true. And because of that, with that negative focus, I would find opportunities in this phase of life quite limiting. I wouldn't be able to see the abundance that's actually around me right now, that is mine just for the asking, the life that I want to live just for the asking. So it's important for us to change our focus, from looking for the negatives to looking for the positives. How do we do that? Because once we do that, life begins to change. The way we live our life, the way we feel begins to change. So how do we do it? One of the really simple practices that I've learned, and something that I learned to do about 10 years ago, is a simple gratitude practice. So what is a gratitude practice? It is looking at what you're thankful in life. Now, you could probably do this, just go out and do this in your mind while you're walking around if you want to, but most of us who are making a special effort to change from a negative to a positive viewpoint need to do this in a more formal practice. And it's really easy. You just got to go and get yourself a journal. I've got a whole selection of journals that I use for this. Some of them have beautiful artworks in them, and some of them are just plain lined with a nice cover, just something that you would enjoy writing in. And begin your gratitude practice by writing 3 things. Just begin with 3 things. You can increase it as you do the practice, but begin with 3 things that you're grateful for. And you want to write a statement. And the statement could just be something very simple like, I'm deeply grateful for, and then write down what you're grateful for, and complete the sentence with the word thank you. For me personally, when I read them back to myself, I repeat the word thank you 3 times. So writing down 3 things that you're grateful for, and they need to be 3 different things every single day. It's not writing down the same thing every day, so that you become a hunter for this. You're hunting for things to be grateful for during the day. And what's really important about this practice is making sure that you do it either first thing in the morning or last thing at night before you go to sleep. So why is this important? Well, it's because when we first wake up in the morning, our mind's at its most relaxed. We're not thinking as much. And just before we go to sleep, our mind is getting ready to go to sleep. And that means that we're more relaxed then too. So when our mind is more relaxed, we become more receptive to those new messages. That's why TV ads are so profoundly effective. We're just doing the same thing. We're using the same strategy, but filling our mind with really, really positive statements, things that we've noticed during the day that we're very, very grateful for, which means that we're more likely to embed that information in our mind. And over time, with regular practice, your positive mindset eventually becomes automatic. You automatically start looking for occurrences during your everyday life that you're really grateful for. And that fine-tunes you with a positive mindset so that you start to look for the positives in all aspects of life, including midlife. It's a simple practice. It's important that you do it every day, because as you do it every day, it embeds that positive mindset more effectively in your mind. And because of that, you'll start to notice the positives, opportunities start to open up for you. You can start to pick from the abundance of the smorgasbord of midlife, because it is abundant, and life begins to change. You begin to thrive in midlife and beyond. If you found this video helpful, I'd love you to give me a thumbs up, maybe share it with your friends. And if you'd like to see more videos like this one, more tips and snippets and content, or interviews with other women in midlife and beyond sharing their experiences, then remember to click the red subscribe button and click the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you found this video helpful. Lots of love, and I'll speak again soon. Bye-bye.